Hi guys, this is Mattias, and I'm coming at you here with a video where I decided to try out the new updated version of the Z2 map that is available on the test server, at least over this weekend. Now if you want to have a look at the new map, so to speak, I will put a link in the description so you can click on that one, and what you will find is going to look something like this. Now it's very possible that there are other and even better maps out there, I wouldn't know, but this map actually lacks the names of the places on the map, but it clearly shows you how things are spread out and the sizes and locations of whatever point of interest you are looking for. Now before I continue this video, I want to let you know that as I'm in the process of trying to set up my streaming PC, one of the things that has happened is that my sound is really messed up. Somehow I seem to be getting the sound twice into my computer, probably from the capture card, or maybe it's more likely that it's because I'm using HDMI now rather than DVI. Yeah, it will give you a little bit of a flanger or chorus type sound, something that you may or may not be familiar with. It's a bit of a musician's term, but yeah, that's what happens, just to let you know. So now, as I've been trying to keep myself updated with, whatever's been going on with the new Z2 map, and also with people's opinions about it, I've seen that there has been a lot of negativity towards this new map. There's a lot of people that are very unhappy with what it looks like, and I have to say that I'm a little bit surprised over how people pass judgment so early on in the development. Daybreak Game Company has clearly stated that this map is far from finished, but you still have, I guess, enough map content to have an opinion about it. And yeah, to be fair, I'm actually one of the people that have an opinion about it, and I gotta say I actually kind of like it. Now, on the negative side of things, when it comes to my experience with testing the new Z2 map, is that the game has crashed for me multiple times, and that is quite frustrating, especially since it takes such a long time before you can get into a match again. So now again, when it comes to the design, there are quite a number of things, especially the way houses look, that has a tendency to be rather repetitive, but I really don't mind. And the main reason for that is that I think that there are far more important things for Daybreak Game Company to focus on than design. And the amount of work they must have put in to make this map, make it work. That's my opinion. Make it work. Don't worry about little design flaws or whatever unless it is a game-breaking bug, but just make the game work properly. Now, when they are working on this map, they have announced that they are working on multiple things. They have talked a lot about better performance, something that's going to come with this map for some reason. I'm not sure exactly the details here. And so far, at this point in time, we haven't seen it yet. And in this stage, the map is far more laggy than the original one. And keep in mind that there are a lot less people on this map as you started a Battle Royale. I think a round starts when there's like about 50 to 60 people in the lobby, or at least somewhere in that area. Now I also want to add a little bit of criticism here to how the testing has been handled by Daybreak, and I think that it would have been much better if they would have tested it on Just Survive. It is just so much easier to just roam around and explore the map if the game mode is Just Survive. If you die, you get back into the map faster, you get to explore a new area. There is a lot of just waiting around that is very irritating and that we would have been able to avoid had this been in Just Survive. On top of that, when you're in a Battle Royale match, you are forced to move to a certain area due to the toxic gas, something that I had to experience the first time I went to Pleasant Valley and I tried to explore it, but I was limited by, the movement of the gas, which was a bit unfortunate, but I think I still have enough material to make at least one video of my time exploring the new capital, so to speak. So as you can see, there's some added feature to the crosshair or the reticle. It will tell you basically how much spread your weapon have in different situations. When you're running, it gets wider, and if you would stand still or crouch or prone or whatever, it will tighten up. Also, you see that it's tighter here when I'm using the shotgun. I wanted to see if I could shoot my way through this fence here, but apparently that didn't work. Now, the new design gives me a feeling of the apocalypse or the disaster of the apocalypse happening a little bit more recent. You can see that the car wrecks haven't decayed as much, and you can see by all the stuff that is inside the house that has been left there by the people that used to live there, it seems like they have just left it a lot more recent than the previous Z1 map. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been in combat enough to be able to have an opinion one way or another about how it feels. I'll try to get back to you on that, but so far I've had too many crashes and there's not been enough people to shoot at, but I'll try to add a couple of engagements in this video anyway. And again, don't freak out about the weird sound. Yeah, obviously there's more than one problem with my sound at the moment. I don't know why my mic was not recorded there. I was talking to this guy a little bit. He was really polite, really cool guy, and I will try to get this sorted as soon as possible. Here is another fight that happened just after that previous engagement. So yeah, a few more things that I've noticed. This house, for example, notice how the walls doesn't render from outside, but the moment you get inside, it looks like the house is finished. Now, these are typical kind of things that you would expect to find on the test server, and that hopefully will be fixed by the time that this goes live. Now, I believe that at this point in time, the walls will still block bullets from going through, or maybe not actually, I'm not entirely sure. Now, I also want to point out a bug that is actually very, very irritating on the live server that you also have here on the test server, it seems like. I've noticed several times how people have run up just next to me, either killed me or whatever, and I've not been able to hear them. And people have said the same thing about me. You gotta keep in mind though, on the test server now you start off with a different type of shoes, and despite the fact that the icon is wrong here, the shoes that you start off with are called the grey-blue stealth footwear. But if you prefer any of the other type of shoes, they are still in the game, and you'll be able to find them basically in any area where you can expect to find any other type of loot. Now, one of the things that a lot of the people from the community has asked for is to be able to get up on the rooftops of houses. And that is something that Daybreak Game Company has decided to implement. Here you see me land on what seems to be one of the tallest building in what I believe is Ranchito Taquito. And this type of, I guess, fire stairwell or some such is something that you'll be able to find on the outside wall of a lot of houses. Even houses that are far from as tall as this one, I might add. Now, personally, I'm not much of a fan of rooftops myself, but after playing the game long enough, I have noticed that there are plenty of people that likes to stay on whatever rooftop they can for as long as they can. So now another thing that they have decided to add with the new Z2 map is a little bit more crafting, and I came across this by pure accident. I was actually trying to drop this helmet, and instead I crafted something called armor scrap. Now, among other things, I believe this is something that can be used to make the makeshift armor, and this makeshift armor is a default recipe that you will have at least in Battle Royale. I'm not sure if this will be in Just Survive as well. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to craft the makeshift armor or the explosive tipped arrows or pro-coagulant, but I will try to cover that as soon as possible as well. In all honesty, I don't think that all the components can be found yet. So yeah, I'll show you a little bit more of gameplay from the first rounds that I was on the test server, and I will make sure to come out with more content to try to cover as much as I possibly can. I'm also pretty sure that Buzzweaver, another H1Z1 YouTuber, is doing the same thing, so you might want to check him out as well. So until the next time, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you all for watching.